Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the KJD Show. I am your host, KJD. Today we're going to talk about what's going on with the Saints season. They're at 5-6 right now. Things aren't looking too good with them. They've got Atlanta Thursday night. A loss to Atlanta will clinch the NFC South for Atlanta. Well, the Saints have had a lot to deal with this year. The suspension of Sean Payton, Vitt being out for 6 games, Loomis being out for 8 games. Roger Goodell's attempt to suspend Vilma for the whole season, even though Vilma was able to return at some point, even though he couldn't play as many games as what we would have wanted him to play. It's pretty obvious. New Orleans is hosting the Super Bowl this year. Goodell doesn't want the Saints playing in the Super Bowl to be the NFL's world champion. If New England would have got screwed out some kind of way too if the Super Bowl was being played in Foxborough. It's a money thing. One half of the teams, the Super Bowl's participants being in that game, that sucks out money for the rest of the league. That's probably what Goodell's looking at. I mean, he's making this turn into like another flag football league without the flags. But then again, supposedly when the damn Kinsu on Thanksgiving did the Matt Schaub was supposedly an accident. When anybody that was watching the game could tell he did do that intentionally. Yeah, I'm starting to think he is the Meta World Peace of the NFL. If you saw what Meta World Peace did to James Harden last year, right before the NBA playoffs, he tried to make it sound like it was an accident. But anybody that watched it could tell it was no accident. And everybody's seen what he's done over the past, so anything short of a year suspension is practically a double standard. I think we've just had way too much to overcome this year. You can have as much heart as you want, but if you don't get some of the lucky breaks going your way, given $100 million quarterback, I understand Breeze is great, top 3 quarterback in the NFL, but you can't win with a $5 defense if you're going to pay that kind of money to your quarterback. You have to invest some money in the defense if you're going to expect them to be good. I don't care who your defensive coordinator is. No money invested in defense means a very poor defense. End of story. I don't care who you are. You cannot win like that. So I don't see why it is that we're blaming the defense on everything. I get why people said he was worth that money, but lost Robert Meacham, Carl Nicks, and Tracy Porter. I think we could pretty much use Tracy Porter right now. I understand Patrick Robinson stepped it up pretty well this year. You can never have too much depth at cornerback either, especially when you're playing against the receivers that the Atlanta Falcons have. Also, I respect them for not folding tent and playing hard, but if I had to pick between them barely missing the playoffs and losing the rest of the season, I would rather them lose the rest of the season without winning another game. It would be best for the team in the long haul because you'd get higher draft picks. They're going to need a lot of help the rest of the way to get into the playoffs. They had the lucky break yesterday with Seattle losing to Miami, Minnesota losing to Chicago, and Tampa losing to Atlanta. They couldn't have asked for a better break than that. Saints just weren't able to take advantage of it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong on everything that I'm saying, believe me. I'm pulling for the Saints as much as everybody else, but I'm also a realist. You can only overcome so much. I don't care how much heart you have. When you got to deal with the commissioner, when you have a commissioner that doesn't want you to win, things just aren't going your way. I mean, Sean Payton's absence, it's really hurt. It's funny because before the season started, a lot of the fellow Saints fans I knew said, oh, yeah, we don't need a coach. Coaching doesn't matter. I think that's BS. I mean, whoever doesn't think coaching matters in pro sports obviously hasn't played anything past middle school. I mean, look at what happened with George Karl, the Denver Nuggets. I know it sounds like I'm switching sports because I'm going from football to basketball. People thought they were the only team that had a prayer at beating the Lakers. When he had to leave because of his throat cancer, they fell apart. So coaching does matter. They decide personnel. Sure, they may not be on the field or the court to make the plays, but they make a lot of important decisions, and usually they're the scapegoat if the team loses. Nobody ever blames a star player when a team loses, but they get all the credit when they win. You know, I welcome other discussion on this show. I want to hear everybody else's opinions. I don't know everything about football. I'm gonna be honest with you guys on that right now. So whoever thinks I said I know everything about football, you know, I'd appreciate if y'all didn't put any words in my mouth on it. I'm admitting it right now. I'm no football guru. I'm just speaking my opinion on here. That's the purpose of the KJD show. It's to invite everybody to have open discussion. I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't expect everybody to agree with me on it. I'd like to hear other different opinions besides mine. I don't want to, my show would be boring if everybody agreed with me. Y'all take care.